guys. So, purpose. Purpose, 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 purpose. Try saying that really fast 10 times. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't. I probably could, but I just don't try. It's hard. um, but it's definitely something that I think is on a lot of people's minds, especially now after, amidst, I mean, we're still in quarantine, technically. But this period, of course, this is being filled during COVID-19, but it's evergreen because it's an age-old topic: purpose, finding purpose, living on purpose. We hear this word bounced around so many times in so many ways. I'm not even sure that we fully understand what it is. Kind of what I wanted to talk about today. It's essential to a life well lived. If you guys look at Dan Buettner's Blue Zone studies, right? So he went, for those not familiar with it, look it up. There's a lot of great stuff there, but he looked at all the most long-lived populations across the world, right? Places like in Okinawa, Costa Rica. There we have what was it? Sardinia. Sardinia is another island. He was looking at all these places and trying to understand what are the principles, what are the core key things that help people live long lives, and not just long, right? It's not about longevity necessarily, but also quality of that life. I mean, we don't want to just be living until we're 90 or 100 plus. We want to be living until we're 90 or 100 plus with vitality, with vigor, with enthusiasm. Right? We want to be able to walk around and move and be able to have full use of all our faculties: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. One of the key things he found with these populations, aside from things like their diets, aside from key things like having a sense of community, belonging. I mean, that's one of the most important things, to feel a sense of belonging to, feeling a part of, feeling supported by a community. Now, actually, that really does tie into this idea of purpose, but you'll see why in a moment. But purpose was one of those factors. People who had a sense of purpose in their lives lived longer, lived healthier, happier, more vital lives. And I think, again, having this slowdown recently and this time to just rest, be still. One of the 3 arrows by which I live personally, it's a triple S: silence, solitude, and stillness. We need to cultivate these things if we're going to find opportunities, give ourselves opportunities to look inside, do some deep inner work. That's necessary. We need that. Those are the 3 arrows that I live my life by. Those are the 3 arrows that I instill and teach and help others cultivate. Now, without that, you can't even start to think about purpose. Purpose, what is it? It's, I think a lot of people have this funny misunderstanding of what purpose is, or that they need to find it. Truth is, guys, we're born with it. In fact, purpose is who you are. Like, just let that sink in for a moment and really feel into that. Like, purpose is who you are. Of course, most of us aren't who we actually are, because we're living out scripts that have been laid down for us by friends, family, peers, society. We're born into this world with natural gifts, curiosities, interests, talents. As children, we are so full of purpose because we are a full expression of who we are. That's purpose. That is living on purpose. It is the deliberate expression of your innermost self. What the hell is that? What the hell is my innermost self, Tom? Well, it's you when you're engaged in the things that make you happy. It's you when you're engaged in the things that put you into flow. It's you engaged in the things that you're most naturally talented in and gifted in. That's who you are. Look at yourself when you were 3 and 5, maybe 7 and on. Before you started to try to please others because you were looking for their affection, their love, because you were looking for worth outside of yourself. We all do it. I did it most of my life. I still do it sometimes. We're not true to who we truly are. Maybe we're told that's maybe we're just told that X, Y, and Z isn't gonna make us money. That's a big one. Maybe we're just encouraged to follow other pursuits. Why? Because all the other kids are. We're put into these boxes when we're sent to school. And then we're set in comparison to others. And it gets internalized. We internalize that comparison, don't we? And we tend to prioritize certain things over others. Some people are just so naturally musically inclined and gifted, or artistically and creatively inclined and gifted. Meanwhile, we're trying to force all these children to just study math and science. And there are those who thrive with that because guess what? That's what they naturally love to learn and do. There's a whole other world, a whole other subset of the population that isn't designed for that, isn't meant for that. We're all wired differently too. We learn differently. Some people learn with their bodies and they're so physically intelligent. My God, my buddy Jeremy, he is someone I look up to personally because you know what? This man can do so many things with his body. He's just so naturally talented. You teach him a breakdance move, he'll learn it. You teach him different. Man, we used to run parkour. Can't tell you how many times I've busted my butt, but this guy was phenomenal. It's what he's naturally good at. But meanwhile, if he's going to school and he's not doing great academically, he's internalizing this sense of I'm not good enough. Because that is the thing he's measured by, that we're all measured by. And of course, this is just one example. I mean, there's so many. This is multifaceted. There's so many different ways this plays out in all our lives. But coming back to that, part of what I'm trying to do, I'm actually currently trying to design a program where I can first help people rewrite those scripts. Tap into what it was. I mean, these are questions I'll pose for you guys to start thinking about. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard them, but have you really, truly given yourselves the time, the silence, and the solitude? Because you got to be alone with yourself to really think this through. What did I love to do as a child? What did I naturally feel drawn to? Where did I spend most of my time? Think about that. Now think about this also. What puts you into flow? This is another component. What puts you into flow? What when you're doing it, time just seems to flow. You're not even aware of it. Now, earlier I mentioned that key component of community, right? Feeling a sense of belonging to. Well, there's components to that. Because you feel like you belong to something, but you're also contributing. You feel a sense of purpose because you're contributing. Notice I just brought in purpose into that. Because that's the thing. When you are fully in yourself, when you're fully living out who you are, fully utilizing your naturally God-given talents, you're fully engaged with your interests and you're in flow, you're doing it. as a natural extension of that, believe it or not, you are being of service to others because someone needs what you have to offer. And when you have the opportunity to fully actualize yourself, that will naturally carry over into you being of service to the world because guess what? You are that gift. You are that gift. And so, what I truly, truly, personally feel my purpose is to help others live theirs. I'm a geek at heart. Guys, when I was a kid, what did I love doing? I loved being outdoors. I loved playing. I loved reading. I loved learning. I loved always getting better, making myself better, growing emotionally and spiritually and mentally and physically. And so over these years, I've accumulated so much knowledge, so many different techniques and practices, and I've honed in and I've clarified and I've tweaked away at it, really helping myself grow so I could share that with others, so I could share that with you, so I could lead others into that. That's where I thrive. When I'm in flow, God, like when I'm making videos like this, when I'm having conversations with people, when I'm seeing their eyes light up because they're like, "Oh my God, it's clicking." Like I feel it. I am in it. This is who I am. This is what I want. That lights me up so much. Inspiring them, encourage them, giving them these tools that I'm learning and I'm continually developing. That's what gives me purpose. Or when I'm writing, my God, that comes so naturally to me. We're a weakness oriented culture, guys. What do I mean by that? Because we're stuck in this mode of comparison, when we're not good at something, we're taught to place our focus and attention into improving those things rather than leaning into our strengths, to our passions, growing those, developing those, and then teaming up. Remember that part, community, being with others, having a team around you that shores up those weaknesses because you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be good at everything. You just have to have the right people around you. Because guess what? If they're doing the best that they're doing in the things that light them up, that they're naturally good at, it's a home run. Because if you're all pursuing the same overall mission, overall goals, but you're all doing it from a place of like where you're most strong, where you're most confident, where you're most alive, when you feel most on purpose, living on purpose, doing things deliberately because that's what you want to do, not because that's what was sold to you, that is where you thrive. That is where we all thrive as a result of that. I hope that sinks in because this is a communal thing. It's all of us. Think about those questions. Think about where you want to be, where you naturally fall and thrive. You're the gift. So be that gift. Grow that gift. Rediscover that gift because it's already there. You don't have to find it. Just got to peel back the layers. Guys, I love you. And, my goal is to help you do all these things. So, with that, I leave you today. Much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And peace.